What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Nittany Pod. I am AP. They are Alex, and that is Nick. That is not TK. Nice to meet you, Nick.
Can't tell already.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be on here. Excited for another season. Right? Got going into the season with higher expectations than pretty much ever in the James Franklin era. So should be a fun year.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on board, man. If you guys are wondering what happened to TK, I'm not sure if he really wants us to tell everybody what's going on, but he's just got some stuff he's taking care of in his personal life. Nothing crazy, but all good things. And we wish the best for him. We'll be getting him back at some point, maybe this season. I'm not sure. Just depends on his schedule. But yeah, looking forward to it. Got a big season ahead of us, boys. Like Nick said, the most expectations Penn State has ever had in the James Franklin era. So it is exciting. It's nerve-wracking for sure. How you feeling, Alex?
Nervous. Because I feel like the only way to go is down from here. So it is kind of weird to start ranked second in the AP when we're used to starting, 7th, 8th, 10th, 12th, unranked, depending on the year. But it is exciting for sure. And yeah, let's just hope for the best, I guess.
How did you guys enjoy the off season? It was a long off season. Last season ended on a really bad note, sour taste in our mouths for quite a few months. Were you able to enjoy your summer? How was it for you?
Yeah, it was fine. Watching the Phillies play ball is always fun sometimes. Eagles did finish the job, unlike Penn State, so that was a plus. So got to enjoy that. But yeah, summer's been good. Just kind of can't believe that it's over and we're back to, talking about Penn State football again. It seems like not that long ago we were all depressed because Allard throws an interception to end our season last year. So it's good to be back. I don't know if I'm mentally ready for it to be back, but we'll do what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple weeks to settle in, right? We got a couple of cupcakes to start. But actually, it was a pretty good offseason, all things considered. I mean, rough end of the season there last year, but then you pull some guys in the portal in the wide receiver room. Specifically, I think Pena from Syracuse is going to be one of the big highlights. You steal the defensive coordinator from arguably your biggest rival and the national champion. So, and then you get all those guys to come back. You get Allard to come back. You get your running backs to come back. You get a lot of big names to come back, guys that, those were not guarantees. So, I mean, they got a lot of good returning pieces and added some guys in the portal, added arguably the best defensive coordinator in the country. So that was a pretty good offseason, pretty, and then the Phillies, of course, too.
Yeah, a lot of positive additions in the offseason, and all it leads up to is more expectations. We've been hearing a lot this offseason about natty or bust, natty or bust, natty or bust. And, to be honest with you, at the start of the offseason, I was like, no. Like, you just got to do better than last year. That's it. But, the closer we get, the more I'm like, yeah, it's kind of now or never. Like, I still haven't fully outright said natty or bust, but I mean, we've all said it at some point, right? It's now or never.
I mean, I'll say it. I feel like it is natty or bust this year. I feel like somebody's got to take over for TK's role. So I'm fairly certain I can speak for TK when he probably feels the same way. And it's natty or bust. Like, if not now, when? You need to. I think James Franklin needs to show that, when he has the talent that he has, like this team has, that he can go win a big game against, the teams that we know he struggles against. He has an opportunity this year to eliminate a ton of narrative that has been brought against him, and we'll see if him and this team can make it happen. If they wouldn't make, I don't want to get like too far ahead here, but if they wouldn't make the national championship game, like this season is a disappointment to me. And I don't really care who they beat along the way. If they lose in the semis, like it's disappointing. I don't care.
Yeah. That is a question I was going to ask you guys here shortly. So we already got Alex's answer to my upcoming question, but Yeah, Nick, how you feeling?
I would agree. And I would also say, like, even going back, like we're talking about it this year, go back to when they signed this recruiting class, the 2022 recruiting class. Everyone was like, this is the biggest recruiting class Franklin has ever had. They got to win a national championship. A lot of people obviously circled 2024 as that year because that would have been their junior years before they all went to the NFL. And some of them already have. But you still got your quarterback who, was one of the prized possessions of that class. And you still got your two running backs, which are huge. So this is a class that's been looked upon as kind of the kind of like the keystone of, no pun intended because Pennsylvania, but the keystone of James Franklin's recruiting classes for years now. So yeah, I have to agree. It's natty or bust. It's also, I mean, they got to beat Ohio State in the regular season. Let's get that first. I would like that first. It's been a long decade, but yeah, once they get to the playoffs, I mean, I think it's definitely natty or bust. I agree.
Well, and also just to add to that, right? Like if you're looking at this team in the future, right? After this year is over, there's going to be a ton of pieces that are gone. It's amazing we kept what we kept, and kudos to Franklin, the staff, donors, however that all happens, whatever money was forked out, however many Brinks trucks it took. I appreciate all of you that made that happen. But you look at this team moving forward, like I'm not going to say we're going to be a 500 football team, but it might be rough for a little bit.
Eight and 4 is on the table for next year.
So this year is kind of the year if you're going to make noise.
It's definitely concerning as well. To your point, because so much money has gone into this season's roster. To bring back Drew Allard, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, Denia Dennis Sutton, Zane Durant, everybody, to steal Jim Knowles, all the money in the stadium. Like, there's so much money tied up into this season's roster right now. I mean, the stadium is kind of separate, but there's so much money tied up into this season. If you don't get it done, I mean, yeah, a lot of money frees up for next season, but we all know how we feel about recruiting right now, and we all know James Franklin's mantra as far as spending when it comes to high school recruits. So it's definitely now or never. Yeah, for sure.
The other problem is like the narrative doesn't change, right? I've heard a couple national media guys talk about this too. Everyone said Kirby couldn't win the big game until he did. Everyone said Jim Harbaugh couldn't win the big game until he cheated, and then he did. But if Franklin goes into this year and doesn't beat Ohio State, let's say he doesn't beat Oregon, and I'm not saying that those are my predictions, but if those things continue, the narrative just continues to drag along. And we worry about recruiting. Well, it's a lot different being recruited by the defending national champ or the team that went to the national championship game than it is to the team that lost to Ohio State again.
Yeah. Let's talk about week 0, man. Did Nick and I were talking before we started recording, but Alex, did you watch any of week 0?
I watched the Iowa State game. That was it.
Yeah, we had some bangers. That Iowa State game was really good. I don't know if you guys stayed up late to watch that Stanford Hawaii game, but that game was a banger.
Yeah, Stanford, that's a program that's really just fallen off. I mean, that's a program, you think about it 10, 20 years ago. I mean, they produced NFL talent. They were a really solid team, especially was it David Shaw was the coach there, I believe. Yep. He was the one. Yeah, he was there for a long time, and they had some very nice success under him. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey was there.
And Harbaugh was there too.
Yeah. Harbaugh was the coach. Yep. Harbaugh was the coach. But that's a team. I mean, they haven't won more than 4 games since 2018. And I looked at their schedule. I don't know if I see a win the rest of the year besides maybe San Jose State. And of course they're in the Atlantic Coastal Conference because that makes a ton of sense. But rough start to their season for sure.
I didn't realize Frank Reich went to the college ranks and is head coach of Stanford.
He's just it's an interim situation. It's an interim situation because they fire the coach in February.
Yeah, they said on the broadcast that Andrew Luck found him in a Costco and cornered him in a Costco and said, "Hey, I need you to be my coach." And that came out of coach him. He came out of an employee. I mean, it's a wild story. But week 0 was was a good appetizer, but the real treat is on Saturday. Got a lot of big games coming up. And of course, Penn State starts the 2025 campaign looking for a national championship. I was going to ask you guys to define what a successful season is, because to win a national championship is hard. So outside of winning a national championship, what would you define a successful season to be? But seems we're all on the same page. It's natty or bust.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a hard question to answer because the expectations, in my opinion, are so high. Um, but if I have to answer it, I feel like if let's say you go 11-1 in the regular season, but you beat Ohio State in Indy and win the Big Ten, okay? Plus, maybe you lose to them in the regular season, but you beat them in Indy. That would be a plus. And then, if you knock off, I don't know how the bracket would fall, but if you would knock off a Bama or a Georgia or a Clemson or somebody like that, maybe a Notre Dame, in a revenge game kind of thing, um, and then you end up losing in the semis to whoever it may be. Maybe you lose to Texas. Like I said, I don't know how the bracket's going to all play out, and who knows. But um, I guess like maybe you could live with it. But also, if the team is beating names like Ohio State and Bama and Georgia and people like that, like you're
There's
gonna lose.
definitely a sour.
You're gonna walk away from that semifinal and be like, man, like what could
Yeah.
have been. And then I also think it depends on how did you lose, right? Did you lose the way we lost to Notre Dame, or did you lose, because Franklin mismanages the clock, or like there's so many different ways to lose, right?
Yeah.
So I really think it depends, but anything short of making the national title game, in my opinion, will be a disappointment.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's tough. I think it's tough again with the preseason expectations. I think though, here's the deal. Last year they won 2 playoff games. One of them was against a school that had been in the Group of 5 the year before, and
Right.
and then one of them was against the Group of 5 school in the tournament. So like, cool, you won 2 playoff games, but you won 2 playoff games against 2 programs that should they even be in the playoffs, right? They didn't beat SEC schools, they didn't beat Big Ten schools, so they're not the best
Right.
of the best. I think if you beat Ohio State in the regular season, and then I'm be honest, I don't care if they win the Big Ten title game or not, but if they go to the playoffs and they beat someone, an SEC school, or even like a Clemson, if Cade Klubnik goes off and Clemson has a really good season, beat a Clemson, someone like that, and you make it. I think you have to make it to the national title game, though. Even if you're the runner-up, you have to make it to the national title game, I think, for it to be in any way a successful season. Losing in the semifinals is the same thing you did last year, so that won't move me.
Yeah. So, and I agree with you guys. My thought of it was exactly what you just said, Nick. If you go 11-1, beat Ohio State, or preferably Ohio State, go 11-1, beat Ohio State again in the Big Ten championship, and then you go to the playoff and beat a Texas or beat a Clemson or a different SEC school. I can live with that. I will come out of the season still with a sour taste in my mouth because of all the hype going into the season. But we haven't seen a season like that ever. So, I mean, I'd be able to live with that ultimately.
Yeah, and I mean, we should start with the first top 10 team on the schedule. Like they got to beat Oregon.
Yeah.
Like that's a must.
Yeah, and it feels like,
in my opinion, it's a must.
yeah, and it feels like a lot of us have been kind of glossing over that game, especially the closer we get to the season. It feels like a lot of us have been, kind of just chalking that one up as a win. I know personally, I kind of have, not to slight Oregon in any way. I just think we win that game. But I mean, that's definitely a tough one that you gotta get by first. It seems like I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about Dante Moore, only good. So,
Yeah, I mean, not to slight Oregon, but I mean, they should be able to beat Oregon pretty considerably. You're talking about a team traveling 3,000 miles across the country and going into a whiteout environment, and an Oregon team that I don't think is as good as last year. If you can't win that game, then I mean, we shouldn't even be having the conversations we're having right now. I mean, everything is in their favor in that game, in my opinion. So, yes,
Yeah.
people are glossing over it, but also, I mean, that should be a pretty relatively easy. Like they should win that game. Like that shouldn't be up for debate.
Well, I think you're right too. I mean, they do have everything going in their favor for that game, and I think that's the reason why people are glossing over the Oregon game. It's the first whiteout at night since 2022, I believe, or yeah, since 2022. I mean, really, if you want to count Illinois, you can, but
Wait,
Minnesota.
that's not true.
What?
Is it? The first whiteout at night since 2022? That's not true.
Well, technically Illinois last
they've
year, but
had whiteouts at night. They just weren't against good team.
Yeah, I mean,
They weren't against a top
Illinois
10
last
team.
year,
yeah, it
but
was Illinois and Washington the last 2 years, so not.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot Washington.
Yeah, and we had Iowa the one year, and like
Yeah.
we've had whiteouts at night. They've just been against
Shit.
mediocre opponents.
Yeah, media. All right, never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, it's it's the first big whiteout at night
Right.
since before 2022. Lord only knows. Probably what,
Probably since like
2019.
probably 2019 Michigan maybe. Well, no,
Yeah.
probably Auburn maybe at night. That was at night in
Oh yeah,
2022, but
2021.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a fucking banger of a game.
That place will be bonkers.
Yeah,
Good
it's
Lord.
gonna be nuts.
I can't wait.
Don't you love how?
See if those bleachers can hold up.
I was just about to say.
Don't even put that in the air, Nick. Like they're already people are already online complaining about that.
I love the Penn State athletics account going up, taking football players up and saying, "Oh yeah, trust these seats, they're gonna be fine." And they're sitting there just shaking them with their hands. It's like, bro, that's not the same as the whole state rocking.
Can we just say something about that video? I love Michael Motti. What he did for the program, will never be done again, most likely. But that video with the offensive lineman or whoever he took up there was so cringe. It wasn't even funny.
It was.
Like that was one of the worst videos I've ever seen. Like just don't put it. Just tell us it's safe and move on. Like you don't need to make some. Oh, it was so bad, so bad.
Oh boy. All right. I want to start this new segment for this season. Basically, it's a buy or sell sort of thing, but I'm going to call that run with that or pass with that. Obviously, it's a football podcast, so I kind of mix it up a little bit and change up the name. So I'm going to give you 3 takes, and you guys are either going to run with that, buy it, or you're going to pass on that, sell it. So first one, I'm going to say Penn State's going to have a wide receiver eclipse 1,000 yards for the first time since 2021. This is a big one right here already.
I'll pass because no pun intended, but I'll pass because if theoretically this team should be, I think, run dominant. I think you're going to be looking at a team with maybe 60-40 run pass split, maybe even higher. I mean, we'll see, right? I still, we haven't even seen some of these transfers play. Like guys like Pena could be huge. I mean, they went out and spent big money on him.
Yeah.
So if it is going to be anyone, it's going to be Pena probably. But again, you got to remember, this is a school that has, for the last 10 years, consistently produced NFL tight ends. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind. Obviously you lose Tyler Warren, but the coaches in Happy Valley do not seem concerned with Tyler Warren leaving. They feel pretty confident in that tight end room. So you got to keep that in mind. And then again, you have 2 returning senior running backs who are both arguably NFL talents. So they should be running the ball a lot too. So for that reason, I'm going to pass. But I do think Pena could get close.
Yeah, I'm going to pass too, just because they haven't proven me any different for the last, what feels like half a century. I do agree with Nick, though. I do think this team can lean on what should be a really, really, really good offensive line and also 2 really talented running backs, like we know. But if we want to reach our full potential, I think one of the transfers or just one in general needs to get close and have, kind of a breakout year and be the go-to guy when you need to play. Can we rely on somebody? Didn't really feel like we've had that for a while. Certainly didn't have it last year. But yeah, in terms of just overall, I'm gonna have to pass because I don't see them being that pass reliant in general, unless a team does a really good job of taking the runaway, which could happen. But yeah, I'm gonna pass.
And this might be only because you guys both passed on it, so I'm just saying this to go opposite of you. Might be, but I'm gonna run with it. My reasoning for that, if you're going to go deep into the season like we all expect Penn State to go, we're talking playing 16, 17 games. You only got to average if you're playing 17 games, you only got to average 60 yards a game to eclipse 1,000. So you add in those postseason
Our
games.
wide receiver room didn't have a catch the whole game in the semifinals, but yeah, only 60 yards. That's all we need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's Pena wasn't there. Ross
No,
was.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, it's from all the reports that we've been hearing, Hudson is Mr. Consistent. We know Pena caught 80 balls last year at Syracuse. Now, this is not Syracuse's offense, but obviously Pena has the hands and the ability to catch an insane amount of footballs. So I mean, all it takes is one consistent piece. You're going to need a receiver to make some plays for you during the season.
Yeah.
So if you get one guy that's consistent, just one, maybe.
It could be Liam.
Yeah, okay.
Could be Liam, wide receiver 3, starter in the slot. All right. Penn State is going to set a school record in players drafted. The line is 10, and I mentioned this because it was mentioned the other day. Field Yates was at a Penn State practice, and he told James Franklin personally he sees about 11 draftable players on Penn State's football team. Again, the record for Penn State is 10, so will they get 11?
Yeah, I'll run with that. I think they'll get 11. I think this team is that talented, that I could definitely see that happening, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm also running with that, and I saw the exact thing that you just said, AP. The NFL scout that went up there and said that he saw 12 NFL players in that practice field. And what I would also say is, especially for your later round guys, I would say that even what you do at the combine, what you do on the practice field when scouts are there is going to play even maybe a bigger role than what they see during the game, because they see raw talent. They don't know, because you're not playing in the exact system they want you to play in. So they're looking for the raw talent that they can develop, that they can mold. So if they already see 12 guys on that roster that are NFL caliber players, I don't see why they wouldn't get drafted, unless you have a couple breakouts on other programs. But yeah, I'll run with it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to run with it as well. I mean, taking the guys that just can't come back to Penn State into account, you're already at, I think, 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to talk about some of the underclassmen guys like Tony Rojas. I hope we don't lose him, but Tony Rojas, I think Amari Campbell is draft eligible, can come back as well, but he's been getting some praise in the preseason. There's a few guys that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's 4, 5, 6 guys that are eligible to go and have the ability to go. It's just a matter if they do or not. And of course, we know Penn State's efforts last year into bringing some of those guys back for this season. So that might take into account the numbers and how that shakes out. It'll get close, but I'm going to run with that. And the last thing I'm going to throw out there, another statistical thing. Penn State is going to have 2 running backs. Obviously, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton. Both of them are going to go over 1,000 yards again this season.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning they will finish 1-2.
Yeah.
The all-time rushing yards.
Yeah, Kate. I feel like this might be the easiest one of all, as long as they both stay healthy. Knock on wood. But I do think by the end of the year, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton's name will be at the top of the staircase in the bookstore, and yeah, I feel like that's pretty easy. I mean, this offensive line is easily the best offensive line we have had in the James Franklin era at Penn State. And with those guys running behind it, I think they are going to have monster years, both of them.
Yeah, I hate to be boring here because I feel like we haven't really disagreed on much, but yeah, I gotta run with it. I mean, like I just said a couple takes ago that this offense should be run game dominant. So if I believe that it's going to be run game dominant, I have no reason to believe they will not break that record. And I hope they do, because hey, Michigan, they won a title 2 years ago. Just run game, run game, run game. They came into Beaver Stadium and they threw 8 passes the whole game. They just ran the ball down our throats.
Any the second half.
None the second half, exactly.
Yeah.
So that should be what our offense looks like this year. But we'll see.
That wound just healed.
Yeah.
So many wounds, bro. They're not all healed.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Yeah. Sorry, I wish I had better picks for you guys, but I was kind of thinking of these last minute. If we think of any good ones throughout the season, definitely throw them at me, and we'll put them out there. Those of you listening to the show, if you think of any, throw them
Here,
at.
how about this one? You can run with it or pass on it.
All right,
Drew Allard wins the Heisman.
huh?
No,
Pass on it.
pass. If Drew Aller wins the Heisman, this was not a successful season. I promise you that, because that means that he absolutely had to carry this team. That means that no,
Well,
because that means he had to carry this team, which means the run game was not productive, which means we probably didn't win that many games. If I'm being honest, that means we probably went 10-2. Because I promise you, this team is not. Drew Aller is not a good enough quarterback to carry a team to a national championship. He needs a run game. He needs an offensive line. So if the run game is not there, then maybe he'll win a Heisman because he'll have insane numbers. But I hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely passing on that. I agree with everything that Nick just said. I mean, yeah, he's not the guy that you want to ride. This team is built to run the football, and if you're telling me that Drew Aller is going to win the Heisman, some things went horribly wrong where we had to shift our entire scheme.
Injuries happen.
Good things still happen, but yeah, you're not where you want to be at the end of the year if Drew Aller is holding the Heisman.
I mean, I'd love for him to win the Heisman, but I don't think it'll happen either. But it's fun to think about.
It would be awesome. I think your more realistic option if you're Penn State and you want to see a person standing there at the Heisman podium at the end of the season and achieve all the goals you have as a team, it'll probably be Nick Singleton, but that's not even possible either because Kaytron Allen, he's splitting time with Kaytron Allen. So
yeah, I mean, as cool as it would be to have a Heisman winner, I'd rather have a national championship. And I don't. I think those two are separate. I don't think they go together.
Yeah, but, they used to be sort of synonymous. The Heisman Trophy winner was always on the team, at least playing in the national championship or close to it, but hasn't really been the case in recent years. So kind of hoping that doesn't happen. But it would be nice to have. I mean, last year Tyler Warren had a decent push towards the end of the year, and for a tight end, I mean that was fucking awesome. But it would be nice
like y'all just mentioned, like it also showed our flaws that our tight end is in the Heisman conversation at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, that was a cool little segment. I like that. That was cool. Man, we're only at like 27 minutes, 28 minutes, and we're already getting into
because we're agreeing on everything, man. We gotta
we gotta come up with some controversy for next week. But no, I mean we'll definitely have more to talk about, once we actually have some live action football to watch and decide.
I mean, I can bring up controversy if you want.
All right. What's up?
Do you shit can James Franklin if he goes 10-2?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do.
Here's the thing.
We can't even disagree on this.
Oh, here's the thing. Do I think they necessarily should fire James Franklin if they go 10-2? Probably not, because I don't necessarily know if there's another coach on this market who could do what he has done at this school. There's one that I can think of, and he's in our conference already, and that's Matt Rule, and that's a big if. I don't even know if he would take the job. I think he would, but here's the thing. I would hope, but I mean, he's already in. Like, I don't know, because I feel like every coach is trying to get into the Big Ten of the SEC. So if you're already there, I mean, it depends on if the boosters would be willing to pay him or not. He's a Paterno guy, so probably
they'd be willing.
But here's the thing. Like, I guess my question would be is just how much higher is the ceiling here than what he has done? And I've talked to Alex about this. I hate his whole thing where he's like, 133 other schools in the country would die to be us. But at the same time, he does have a point in that there's only one more level to get to, and that's to a national championship. And there's only a couple of active coaches right now who have a national championship under their belt. So I think you have to, just for PR reasons. You have a coach that was number 2 in the country, goes 10-2, but it would be like, I don't know if that would necessarily help the program in the long term.
Yeah, it would be for stagnant purposes, but I mean, if you fight, and I've talked about this, so I've been blue in the face. I mean, we've gotten into it so many times over the years. If you fire James Franklin, not only who is out there that's going to have equal success or obviously we would want more, so more success here at Penn State. I mean, tell me the option, but is it even achievable? I mean, we've been lucky recently with the hires that we've been able to hire on the staff, but we've seen coaches leave. We've seen coaches totally flat out say no to the job simply because of the area that we're in, because their wives don't have enough to do, because they don't have access to an airport that lets them get to the beach across the country. I mean, it's all bullshit, but it's little things that go into.
So Lincoln Riley's probably not coming here.
No, Lincoln Riley definitely ain't coming here. I mean,
I mean, I don't know if you want Lincoln Riley after what he's been doing
No,
at
I don't
USC
want
the last
Lincoln Riley.
Penn State is an amazing school. Penn State, I mean, we all know Penn State is amazing. Penn State does have money, despite the way we talk sometimes. But there are limitations to it, and James Franklin has done an amazing job here. I feel we take it for granted sometimes, but again, it
So,
would have to be a PR thing.
so I think the question would become, if let's just say they do go 10-2, you lose to Oregon and Ohio State. Just because we go 10-2 doesn't necessarily mean they wouldn't make the playoffs. I think they would be on the bubble of making said playoffs, but
I think they'd
I,
make it just based off
I
of the
I'm
talent
not sure. I'm not sure either. It would all depend on how the rest of the country plays out, right?
and
So,
expectations.
but I think the question would become is like, okay, where is Pat Kraft at? Does Pat Kraft think that I don't think Pat Kraft is one that's going to sit on his hands if he feels he's not getting enough
Right.
from somebody. I certainly don't think he feels that way currently. But as time moves along here, does Pat Kraft feel that way? Does
let's
Pat Kraft
also
look at
let's also
the
remember.
sorry,
Sorry,
just finish up.
I just wanted to note. Also, James Franklin was not hired by Pat Kraft, so Pat Kraft has
Right.
no reason to keep James Franklin.
But he
Well,
does seem happy with him. He does seem
he
very happy
does.
with
Yeah, yeah,
James.
yeah.
And
And I think and I
does one
think
season, like,
well, and I think so my thing is like, Pat comes out and announces that Penn State had their best fundraising year ever. That's largely in part because of what Pat Kraft is doing compared to what, our former AD did, which was nothing.
yeah,
So all this revenue, all this, probably new donors, bringing old donors back, whatever the case may be, and I don't know the numbers and how they all break down, but if Pat is seeing all this and the buy-in from the community, the president, everybody else, does he expect and want more from his head football coach? I honestly don't think if James goes 10-2 that Pat would do anything. I don't think he would get fired for that. But I do think 3, 4, 5 years down the road, like I think it's a question Pat would start to ask.
I would
I
also
think it would
ask.
be sooner than 3, 4, 5 years. I think this season he would be okay, but give it two, like a 26 and 27 to go 10-2, 11-1. Same shit, different year. I think after 2027 would be the time.
I would also ask, like, how is that even really Pat's decision? He's not the one paying the buyout. I think the donors have a lot more say in the football. I think a lot of the other coaches, it's probably Pat's decision. Football, I think it's a much more team effort. I don't know if it's all him.
But I think it's also safe to say if it's the donors that are paying. I mean, I guess if we're looking for paying the buyout, like it is up to the donors. It also, if that is the case, I'm half shocked that the donors didn't pony up the money to already get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't already been done.
Yeah, I could be wrong there. I mean, it's a big buyout. Like it's not cheap, right? So, but I certainly know that some of the bigger donors, especially the Paterno era people, probably would have kicked him to the curb 6 years ago.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Did we do a did we do a season prediction? Like, I know we talked about, like, what a successful season would
I
be.
put one on my Twitter, but
All right, give me your season predictions. What's Penn State's 12-game record? How far do we go in the playoffs? Do we win the Natty?
Go ahead, Nick. If people follow me, they already saw mine.
All right, I'm gonna go 11-1. because I'm not confidently predicting this team to go 12-0. And the loss, I'm gonna have it's gonna have to be against Ohio State. I'm sorry. It's the
Yeah.
only loss. It's the only loss I can reasonably predict. Obviously you're gonna have these first 3 weeks. I think these first 3 weeks, as much of a joke as the competition is, they are important in my opinion because this is a veteran team. So those guys are gonna get time off their feet. More importantly, you are gonna see these younger guys that are the future of this program. We have so many guys leaving. You're getting these younger guys much needed reps. An interesting storyline I think over these first 3 weeks is going to be watching Ethan Grunkemeyer and Jackson Smolik. Might have to go into the portal for a quarterback, might not. And these first 3 weeks are going to be big in determining that, at least from our public eye. Obviously, James and them get to see practice, but for us, if you want to hop in there and say something.
I think an even bigger point to watch over the first few weeks of the season, running back 3.
Yes,
Who is
that's another one I
gonna
was
be
going
the
to
guy?
mention. Yeah,
Who is going to be the guy once Nick and Katron leave? Because James has said all, and not all off season, but all camp, that it's been very inconsistent. You got Cam Wallace coming off of that horrible leg injury last year, and Quentin Martin and Cam Smith haven't. I'm sorry. Why can't I think of his name? But Smith, Corey
yeah.
Smith.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to take the ball and run with it, and that you might need to go into the portal for a quarterback and a running back after this season. So
Yeah.
the chips are really all in.
And for as much of a joke as those first 3 weeks are, the Big Ten schedule is very difficult. So I'm like, they're going to have to prove themselves in Big Ten play. Again, as we mentioned, Oregon is your first real, I'm calling it's the first real game. The first real game of your schedule is Oregon. Then the next week, you have to travel 3,000 miles across the country to UCLA. That is not easy. I think they have some experience with that now that they've played at USC. They have to go to Iowa. They have to go to Columbus. They bring in a Kurt Cignetti Indiana team that I don't think is going to be as good as last year, but that's a well-coached team, a well-disciplined team. And then you have to play Nebraska, who is supposedly the breakout candidate for the Big Ten. So it's as bad as the non-conference is. That's how good the conference schedule is. It's going to be a difficult 11-1, but if this team's as good as we say they are, then it should be possible. It should be easy.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to say 12-0.
Of course you are.
I love it.
I've been back and forth in my head about the Ohio State game recently, but this has to be the season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Bro, we've been saying that.
I'm about to say, I said that in 2017, 2018, 2024.
Yeah, we've been saying that for so long now.
We've been saying that, but I think this is the tipping point, because we just said you might have to go into the portal for a quarterback and a running back next year, and probably other positions as well. If you don't get it done this year, man, it's not like, next year we'll be all right. In a couple years we'll be all right. Like, sure, we probably will be, because we're Penn State. We don't just fall off a cliff. But fuck. If it doesn't happen this year, then when? And this team spent a lot of money on this roster. It has to happen. 12-0.
12-0.
You're gonna beat Ohio State in Columbus. You might disappoint us in the playoffs, but at least we got 12-0. At least we beat Ohio State.
Regular season champs, baby.
Let's go. That's all that matters.
Fucking hang the banner. Put it on the fucking side of the suites.
So I am 11-1. They will not beat Ohio State because they can't. But I do think they're going to make the national title game. So maybe they'll beat them during the playoffs or in Indy or something. I don't know. They will not beat them in the regular season. If they would beat them in the regular season in Columbus, we're just going to build a statue for Drew, because who was the last quarterback to beat Ohio State in Columbus? I don't even know. So yeah, 11-1. I think that trip to Kinnick is always scary to me. I hate playing out there. I don't think we should overlook the Nebraska game at all. And then of course Oregon is going to be tough. I'm not sold on Indiana. I do kind of think
I agree.
if this team is where we think it can be, I don't think that Indiana game is going to be overly close. I could be completely wrong too, but yeah, I'm gonna go 11-1. And the biggest reason I'm saying that is because until proven otherwise, I will always chalk Ohio State as a loss from here on out.
Yeah, and I didn't
That would
say it,
be
but I do think they win the national title, even at 11-1. I do think they win the national title, and I think they do it against Clemson because fuck the SEC. So yeah, Penn State Clemson for the national title game.
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if I'm willing to predict a national title yet. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will probably puke 15 times before that game if we are in the national title. It could be alcohol induced or not, depending on if I'm in Miami. But, um, but yeah, man, I don't even know how I'd react.
Yeah, I don't know if I can predict that result of the national championship game, but I will predict. I do think they get there. I do think they get there. This team is hungry, man. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel it. Like, and yeah, we say it every fucking year and the same sort. It's
We do.
I might just be putting on my fucking clown mask once again. But no, like I am just putting my clown mask on.
It's funny too because like I think all three of us are Phillies fans as well, and like the Phillies have disappointed in the playoffs the last couple of years. And this year I came in the air, I'm like, they're not going to do anything. But this team, for some reason, this football team, for some reason, I am convinced that they're going to win, even though they've shown me time and time again that they probably won't. But I'm just convinced that they will. I should bring my Phillies fandom into my football fandom. It would do me some good. But I am just convinced, and I'm probably most likely destined for heartbreak, but hopefully not.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
Ready
yeah,
to do it again.
yeah. There's just so many things that say like, yeah, there's no way, right? Like, but there's also so many things that be like, yeah, they should. But I don't know. Maybe that's just weird for us to say, being of this generation of Penn State fandom. We had sanctions back, 10, 12, 15 years ago. Went through that whole rebuild, and now you finally get consistent. Then you have heartbreak of 2017. Then you have heartbreak again in 2018. Like, you had COVID year of 2020. Like, the list goes 2021. Like, there's no reason that we should be this excited.
The infamous Outback Bowl versus Arkansas. That was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brutal. But
the 3-sack performance of Smith Vilbert, a highlight of his career. Alex, I think that was Matt McGloin that you were trying to think of, last Penn State quarterback to win in Columbus. Before that,
I never even guessed that.
Devlin.
Matt McGloin, of all people.
Yeah,
The now county commissioner. Or was.
Mr. Moxie. All right. Let's give score predictions for week 1, and then we'll get into our picks for the week. So the current spread for the game, I checked this morning, 44. This Penn State cover. We all know James Franklin loves to keep an eye on that line. He loves to cover. Is he going to do it? That's a big spread for week 1.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I don't know shit about Nevada. So if
I'm gonna go.
you tuned into this podcast for a real breakdown of the game, sorry.
I'm gonna go 54-9.
That would not be covering. Ooh. But 54 points.
Jim Knowles' defense does not give up a touchdown.
That would cover. That's 45 points, right? It's a 45-point win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 54-9. Jim Knowles' defense does not give up a touchdown in their debut under his scheme. So yeah, starters out by halftime.
Yeah, I do not have them covering. You're talking about a new defensive scheme. You're talking about a whole new defensive. I do not see them covering. 45-13 is my score prediction. I still see them winning handedly. I still see the backups in by the third quarter, but I think they win this game pretty handedly. Quick thing on Nevada: new quarterback, new running back, and they lost their top 2 wide receivers last year, and a bunch of guys on the D line, a bunch of guys on defense, a bunch of guys on the O line. This is a team that was like, I want to say 3-9 or 4-8 last year in the Mountain West. They lost a ton of players, so they're going to be a pretty bad team. And the quarterback, though, Shubba Purdy, Brock Purdy's brother, that's the quarterback for no matter Wolfpack. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
love it.
I'll take the Lions by 32, 45-13.
Yeah, and a note on that, what Nick was just mentioning, Franklin actually talked about that today in his press conference, how the overturn of this team actually makes it somewhat of a challenge. That's not to say that Nevada's going to give us a challenge, but I'm sure in preparing and scheming and all those things, it does make it a little bit more difficult with that kind of turnover on a team. You
Yeah,
have no film.
yeah, absolutely. You don't have anything to go off of. Maybe practice film if you have access to that, but it definitely presents a challenge. For that reason, the new Jim Knowles defense. We all know Jim Knowles defense has been famously tough to install. Ohio State fans have been telling us that all offseason. It's going to take our defense 3 years to get it.
Hey, you know what? Fuck them. I'm tired of them telling us that. Jim Knowles walked into an Ohio State room that was ranked like 50th in the country. He's walking
Right.
into a room that's been top 10 to 15 the last decade. Piss off. It ain't going to take as long.
Yeah. No, I mean we already knew that. It definitely is not going to take that long. He's even said it.
They're just salty
It's
left.
gone way faster than he thought. So I think Penn State wins 48-17. So a 31-point victory. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be I actually think it's going to be a lot of Drew Aller and the wide receivers trying to get on the same page. You know what you have in Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. Um, the balance of it is obviously the run game really needs to get the ball rolling to be effective later in the season. But you also need your quarterback and wide receivers to get on the same page. So I think we're going to see them hook up quite a bit early. And like Alex said, starters pulled by halftime. See quite a bit of the backup quarterback battle there. And then we'll get quite a bit of running back 3
I don't know.
battles.
We might hear who that backup is here later in the week. Sounds like Franklin was going to talk to them after
Yeah, I
his
was.
presser today. So
I'm
I was
surprised.
kind of surprised he didn't announce it today, but
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to announce it today, but he did not.
He probably did already while we've been recording this, and we missed it, but no, it's definitely coming out soon.
Yeah, it
Who
should
do,
be
who do you guys think
Grunkemeyer,
it's going to
probably.
be? Gronk?
I think it's going to be Gronk. I think it's pretty clear from everything we've heard out of camp, but we'll see. I guess we'll see.
could be
Yeah,
Mr. Versatile Liam Clifford.
I think it's one of those things. It's going to be Grunk, but I think they just have a lot of respect for Smolik and how much he's battled to get back to the point where he's at right now, and he actually is playing good. But so they haven't wanted to ice him out at all. But I think it's going to be Grunk.
I mean, hey, Bo Pribula hasn't even locked down the starting job yet in Missouri. He's still in a
Oh,
competition.
man,
Man, he's going to come back through the portal next year and start for us.
I'd be so sad for him if he can't lock that down. I'm going to be watching their game on I think that's Thursday night. Missouri
Yeah.
is at 8. I'm going to be watching that game for sure, and hopefully he shows out for him. Definitely rooting for Bo down there in what's Como, Missouri?
Columbia, Missouri.
I think they call it Como for short.
Oh, do they? Como? Okay, Como
yeah,
it is.
It's weird. I don't
That
know.
SEC education right there.
Yeah.
Como.
All right, boys. Week 1 picks. We know what the big games are. It was hard for me to choose any games to pick aside from those big 3. So Texas, Ohio State, 1v3 in the shoe. Arch Manning, Julian Sayin. Who you got? This is Texas's second straight time playing Ohio State.
Yeah, I'll take the Longhorns. Even though they're going on the road, and even though, Ohio State's in the Big Ten, you got to cheer for the Big Ten. Fuck that. I'll take the Longhorns. I think they're the better team. I think Ohio State is got a lot of questions kind of all over. I think they're a good team, but I think they got a lot of questions coming off a national championship. You got a brand new quarterback. You got a brand new defensive scheme. I think there's a lot of questions to be had there. And I think being at home helps. I think being at home helps for sure. But, I mean, I like what Texas has. I guess it's a little bit of a shame that it's not 1v2, but so I guess we're a little sorry about that, but not too sorry. Happy to be number 2 in the country, but
It's too
I'll take the
early in the
Longhorns.
season to have a game of the century, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to go with Ohio State. And the reason I say that is because I think they have the best player on both sides of the ball. Caleb Downs on the defensive side, obviously Smith on the offensive side of the ball. I think they will make a difference. I think being at home is a big deal. And yeah, as much as I'd love to see them lose, I think Ohio State gets it done.
What if Ohio State does not have the best player on offense?
But they do.
What if but what if it doesn't turn out to be that way? What if Arch Manning is everything people have said he is?
Oh, I'm not sold on Arch Manning. I'm just less sold on Julian Saying. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The bigger what if Texas actually has the best player on defense, which could be an argument between
yeah. I'm just telling you why I picked Ohio State.
No. I'm saying that there are positive questions about Texas when it comes to their best players. I mean, they do push the best players in the country, Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, for their respective spots as the best players in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas is a really good team. Would I be shocked if they walked in and beat Ohio State? No, I wouldn't be overly shocked. I think Texas has a very viable chance to play for a national championship as well. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, you think back to last year. I mean, you were kind of a Jack Sawyer sack fumble return for a touchdown away from who knows what happening to that game, right? So, yeah, I just think it always seems like whenever I really, really, really want Ohio State to lose, which is every week, they don't. So I just kind of expect them to get the job done, however that may be.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to go against Ohio State in this scenario, but I really think Texas is. I mean, if Penn State doesn't win the national championship this year, I really hope they do. Obviously, I truly think Texas does. Texas is fucking loaded, man. Give me Texas. Give me the Longhorns. They've won in Columbus before. This wouldn't be their first time doing it. Give me the Longhorns. In the 3:30 slot, we got Alabama taking on Florida State. Who you got there?
Bama.
Yeah, roll Tide. I mean, that's
by a lot.
Yeah, dude. I mean, after what we saw from Florida State last year, it shouldn't be particularly close. The other, I guess that's later at night though. LSU Clemson, that's later. But yeah, at the 3:30 slot, Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can go ahead to LSU Clemson because I also got Alabama. I think Alabama, not enough people are talking about them. Josh Pate has been sucking them off quite a bit, and I think that's warranted. I think they're gonna be really good. Yeah, give me the Tide. Tigers versus Tigers. Who you got?
Clemson. I also think this one could get sexual.
Ooh.
I think Brian Kelly is a shit coach. Yeah, I think Clemson's going to be really good this year. So, give me Clemson.
Yeah, I also take Clemson here. LSU has struggled in week one in the past. Clemson has two. They lost to Duke a couple years ago at Wallace Wade Stadium on Labor Day. But so these are both teams that have struggled in week one in recent years. But I'll take Clemson. I mean, Kate Klubnik is probably the favorite to win the Heisman right now. And again, I agree. I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly or his coaching style. So I'll take the Tigers.
Yeah, LSU is probably going to get banged in this one. They're in a tough spot, man. Clemson is another team like Texas. They are absolutely loaded. They have NFL talent all over this team. Like Penn State, you probably got 11, 12, 13 guys that are going to end up hearing their names called in the NFL draft. Yeah, give me Clemson. Give me the Tigers to beat the Tigers.
Clemson might be one of like the quietest national rebuilds we've seen, right? Like there was a period of time 2 years ago, nobody talked about Clemson, nobody cared about Clemson. They were kind of struggling, hit or miss, and now all of a sudden, like here they are back on this national stage. Some people have them playing in the national title game as well. So, the parity at the top of college football this year is actually pretty insane.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun this year, man. I mean, we've been hearing so many people talking about it's probably going to be. Last year was wild. Last year had a lot of upsets, was fucking madness. This year is going to be even crazier, man. I've been hearing a lot of people saying it's going to be equivalent to 2007. I mean, that'd be a dream.
I mean, as much as there is things I hate about it, I mean, the transfer portal and the 12-team playoff has created a lot of parity in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But as a consumer, it's pretty hard to hate on it sometimes.
I have another game for us to pick here. I overlooked this one because I totally forgot about what happened to this team. But Syracuse and Tennessee, week 1 at noon. Tennessee obviously losing Nico. I haven't been hearing good things about their quarterback in camp. And Syracuse is one of those programs. They're at the bottom of the ACC, but they're always one of those teams they can jump up and get you at any moment, as Miami can tell you from last year.
But I don't really like either of these teams, to be honest. I think Tennessee could be looking down the barrel of like a 7-5, 8-4 season, just with the SEC schedule and everything. But again, SEC school, ACC school, it's pretty hard to pick against the SEC school, even though I do think Fran Brown is a great, great coach up at Syracuse, and what he is building there is actually very, very impressive. And I think they could be a very good program one day. But until proven otherwise, I have to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I would also kind of take Tennessee here. Syracuse is also replacing their quarterback. I don't know what that situation is up there for them, but I assume it's a little bit harder for them to reload compared to an SEC school. So yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee.
I am going to take Syracuse. Syracuse, they took Steve Angeli from Notre Dame to be their quarterback, who famously led Notre Dame on their touchdown drive right before halftime against Penn State. Really started the comeback against
Why
us.
are you bringing that up?
I'm saying my reason for picking Syracuse.
Well, speaking of Notre Dame, they have a pretty big game this weekend too. They're playing Miami.
Yeah. I the only reason why I didn't put that down here because I didn't want all of us to put Notre Dame, and I didn't want to have to put 3 Notre Dame logos on a graphic.
That's fair.
If we can say we're not going to go chalk for Notre Dame, then
I
I'll
can't
throw
say
it on
that.
the graphic. But
Yeah, unfortunately, I would love to be able to say that, but I can't say that.
yeah, I think I got Notre Dame in that game as well.
Although it is
Sounds
time
like
for
you
Cristobal
both
to
do as well.
it is time for Cristobal to put up or shut up. So
Yeah,
Carson Beck's down there.
They've got the talent on Miami's roster, quarterback aside. I don't know how your feelings of Carson Beck are, but he's had moments.
I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can channel some of that energy. And hey, I'd love to see it. Lord knows I'm rooting for Miami week 1.
Yeah,
and it pains me to say because I can't.
I'll take the convicts over the Catholics. Catholics versus convicts.
And in a way, they're both convicts, but
yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about?
Game week, baby, it's here finally.
We made it. Off season was hell. Had a sour taste in my mouth for months. But baby, we made it. We're back.
Time to go get drunk in cow pastures.
Nothing like it. Just breathe it in. Make your way to the Coctagon.
Yep.
Love it, baby. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you. Appreciate you, listeners. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Find Nick. Be sure to follow him. He's going to be here all season. Maybe in the future as well. Thanks for joining, Nick. You guys have a good one.
Of course. Thank you.